य ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्रीमद् भागवतम Canto 10, Chapter 14, Brahma's Prayers to Lord Krishna, Shloka number 61. This is the last shloka of the chapter. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Evam viharaihi kaumaraihi kaumaram jahatuhu व्रजे नील आयनैहि नीलायनैहि सेतुबन्धैहि मर्कट उत्प्लवन आदिभिः एवं विहारैः कौमारैः कौमारं जहतुर्व्रजे नीलायनैः सेतुबन्धैर् मर्कटोत्प्लवनादिभिः 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 माताजी एवं विहारैः कौमारैः कौमारं जहतुर्व्रजे नीलायनैः सेतुबन्धैर् मर्कटोत्प्लवनादिभिः एवं thus viharaihi with pastimes kaumaraihi of boyhood kaumaram the childhood age up to 5 years jahatuhu they passed vraje in the land of Vrindavan nilayanaihi with sports of chasing about. Setubandhaihi, with the building of bridges. Markata utplavana, with the jumping around the monkeys. Adibhihi, and so on. In this way, the boys spent their childhood in the land of Vrindavan, playing hide and go seek, building play bridges, jumping about like monkeys, and engaging in many other such games. Hide and seek. That is not given, I think. The hide and go seek. This game is not given here. The shloka. Kumharika Jhaturvaja Nilayanaihi means sports of chasing about, Setubandhai with building of bridges, Markata Utplavana, and etc. Okay, maybe it is there in commentary somewhere. Purport. According to Srila Sanatan Goswami, the word Nilayanaihi refers to the games such as hide and go seek or cops and robbers. Sometimes the boys would jump around like the monkeys in Lord Ramachandra's army and then enact the building of the bridge to Sri Lanka by constructing play bridges in the lakes or ponds. Sometimes the boys would imitate the pastime of churning the ocean of milk, and sometimes they would play catch with balls. We can find full pleasure in the spiritual world with the simple condition that everything be performed in pure love of Godhead, Krishna consciousness. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 14th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Brahma's Prayers to Lord Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamanang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Dadita Shivshakhanvitamshcha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Can we also get the Krishna book? English. So these three verses are spoken by Shukadeva Goswami after Brahma's prayers are over. In the previous verse, the benefit or the Shruti Phala or Phala Shruti of Brahma's prayers has been explained, and now Shukadeva Goswami goes on to explain continues his description of Lord Krishna's Leelas. We may also read from Krishna book about the end of this chapter. doesn't speak the number. What's this apple? Words from apple. In this way, Krishna consciousness was fully explained to Maharaj Parikshit by Shukdev Goswami as he recited to the king the statements and prayers of Lord Brahma. These descriptions of Lord Krishna's pastimes with his cowherd boys, his eating with them on the bank of Yamuna, and Lord Brahma's prayers unto him are all transcendental subject matters. Anyone who hears, recites, or chants them surely gets all his spiritual desires fulfilled. Thus Krishna's childhood pastimes, his sporting with Balram and cowherd boys in Vrindavan, were described. This is the end of 14th chapter in Krishna book. In this way, Shri Krishna, along with her elder brother Balrama, passed the childhood age known as Kaumara and stepped into the age of Pauganda from the 6th year up to the 10th. So this is how in the Krishna book is related here. Now this shloka, Evam Viharaihi Kaumaraihi Jahatur Raja Nilayanaihi Setu Bandhir Markatotplavanadibihi. It starts with Evam. Here there are 3 chapters that has come after the description of plays which were going on in Vrindavan when Krishna was in Kaumara age. And then right from the beginning of Aghasura's killing, after Aghasura's killing, till this chapter, 14th chapter. Some of the acharyas or sampradayas, they do not accept these 3 chapters as Srimad Bhagavatam's part. Madhvas, they do not accept this part. And a big discussion, or big, you can say, Vakyartha is there in between them. They explain that these 3 chapters are not in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sridhar Swami says Srimad Bhagavatam has 362 chapters. While if we accept these 3 chapters, it becomes 365 chapters. And also that this verse starting from Evam in this way is directly connecting to the verse 3 chapters before at the end of the last chapter, and it nicely fits into the flow. You don't need these 3 chapters in between to complete the flow. So these have been inserted. They say like this. Long discussion goes on in this manner. One of the Gaudiya devotee has written a detailed refutation of this in Sanskrit. In Sanskrit or in Hindi? I think it is in Sanskrit. Detailed refutation of this is written, taking all the arguments and then refuting them. Of course, some of the refutations are not true actually. He misunderstood what the Acharya was saying. But yeah, this type of, because this involves Brahma's Vimohan. After Aga's killing, Brahma Vimohan is there. and no, this cannot be possible like this. That's why these chapters have not been fully accepted by some acharyas. But we do accept these 3 chapters, and we don't have any problem with Brahma's Vimohana. Brahma is our Sampradaya Acharya. But we don't have any problem with that. Vyasadeva has mentioned these chapters, it looks. It's not that someone has inserted from all the available evidence. It's more probable that these chapters are the part of Bhagavatam. One of the arguments which is put forward in support of this view that 365 chapters are there is that killing of Aghasura, that is mentioned even in chapters before in Srimad Bhagavatam. So that verse is accepted by all the acharyas, and yes, so that means this chapter is there, then the whole sequence should be there. To that they explain, the counter argument is that no, this it is not mentioned killing of Agha Asura. Killing of Agha means to killer of sins. And that's why it's not killing of Agha Asura. While the other asuras mentioned are the asuras and not just. But for this they counter argue like this. So that argument is not very strong, because in the context asuras killing was being mentioned, and so Agha must also be an asura there. And Krishna killed Agha, the asura, is famous from many other shastras. It's not just Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is why we cannot deny that particular Leela. And there are many such strong arguments which establishes from Srimad Bhagavatam, other places of Srimad Bhagavatam, that these 3 chapters are a part. In Sri Sampradaya they accept these 3 chapters, but they have doubt also. Veera Raghavacharya commented that although it may be said that there are 362 chapters only, and these 3 chapters may have been Aropita, still in other places, in other Puranas, we do find these Leelas, and so we accept it. And also because our revered Acharya Vyasa, there is another Vyasa only, I think. In Sri Sampradaya there is an Acharya with the name some Vyasa. No, Vyasa Tirtha is Madhva. No, I am not speaking about it. In Sri Sampradaya there is one Acharya with the name Vyasa who wrote commentary on Bhagavatam, which is not fully available at this moment. I think one I will have to check in the Pramana which is given. So because it is commented upon by him, so we accept it and we go ahead. Although it may be said that these particular verses here may not have been the part of previous Bhagavatam, still because this is not against what is mentioned already in the Shastras, and because our Acharya has commented like this, so we go ahead, we go on with accepting these Leelas happened. So the main question is that did these Leelas happen or not? Not it is a part of Bhagavatam or not. Because Bhagavatam is one Purana out of 18, and then there are many Upa Puranas where these Leelas have been mentioned, and so we have to accept the sequence of these Leelas. And also because Srimad Bhagavatam is the most authoritative Purana from all other Puranas. Specifically given for Kali Yuga. So we accept these Leelas. Srimad Bhagavatam has been commented upon by more than 250 acharyas, Samskrita. The book which is available, the published book of the commentaries which is available with Sola Bhagavat Vidyapit, has 11 commentaries of Vaishnava acharyas. And on the 10th canto is around 28 commentaries of Vaishnava acharyas. Starting from Sridhar Swami, that's around 600 years, 650 years before, up till now, there have been 200 and more than 250 commentaries from all sampradayas, from all parts of the world, of the India. And that is not the case with other Puranas. Linga Purana has one Shaiva commentary. Besides that, means I am speaking about traditional commentaries when Varnashrama was in place, not the commentaries after Britishers came. So Linga Purana has one commentary, then Vishnu Purana has one commentary, two commentaries, Sridhar Swami's commentary and Vishnu Chittiyam, Engalwan's commentary. But other Puranas are not commented upon by acharyas. This also gives Bhagavatam more support. Why? Because when someone is commenting on verses, that means he is accepting those verses in the form which is available. So when you merge those commentaries for a single verse, you see that yes, these many people have accepted these verses as it is. And these are not some hobbyists whose hobby is to read novels. These are all scholarly people trained into Shastra, Sanskrit, everything from the beginning of their life and remained trained till the end of their lives. They were following Vedic culture and very austere life, and basically never spoke lie in their whole life. They never cheated anyone. They were known for these things. They may be Mayavadis, they may be Vaishnavas, but all of them followed the culture, and therefore it is very less probable that all of them together will speak lie. It's a modern atheistic syndrome that usually we if we don't like some grantha, then we say that, oh, this is someone made it up, or some parts of it someone made it up. This is how the modern university system tries to kill the Vedic literatures, kill the authenticity of Vedic literatures in the minds of those who are Vedic. But that's bogus. That is bogus. It cannot happen. Very rarely it could happen. And saying by the university scholars, saying that, oh, Manusmriti, these many verses have been inserted inside it, so it has become polluted. The original Manusmriti was something different. Similarly about Bhagavata Purana or other Mahabharata. So because they want to attack those granthas, so they speak like this. But it is illogical. When they say like this, it means actually that those who were living those granthas at that time, say 500 years before, 400 years before, then did not know that such things could be done. They were so innocent, so naive, that someone put inside some verses and then they will accept it. Yes, this is okay. They don't even come to know that something is inserted. They become cheated and fooled. And not only them, their whole generations become cheated, and the wrong shlokas go on like this, and new parampara is established of wrong shlokas. It is saying like this. But actually, if someone just puts little intelligence, you don't need big intelligence in this. It is laughable. This type of explanation is laughable, actually. Say, for example, consider these books are not available. Printing is not available. Printing is meant for foolish people. So printing is not available. So how was this parampara going on? By remembering. Hear and remember. Hear and remember. So the first symptom of intelligence is that these people were able to remember. Even if you take only Bhagavatam, then 18,000 shlokas. 18,000 shlokas they were able to remember. And even today we are seeing that many people remember many thousands of shlokas. It's not a big thing for them. So when they remember it, that's the sign of first intelligence. We are thinking that they are foolish, but that's the first sign of intelligence. And it is not that only one person remembers it. Correct? Say, I am Guru. I taught you 18,000 shlokas of Bhagavatam. Means each and every word you are remembering. Then only you will be able to remember. It's not that it is in the book, I will have to go and see. When it is in the book, that means you are not aware of the text. Although you may have read it once or twice, but you are not aware of the text. If something is changed, oh, I did not know this was changed, correct? We may again read the same. After 3 times reading of Bhagavatam, again 4th time you read, and someone changes in the new print purport of Srila Prabhupada and puts his own thing there, you will not be able to recognize. Correct? We don't know, because we are not aware of the text. We have not remembered it. But for those who have remembered the text, so I am teaching that, and now I have 10 disciples who have remembered 18,000 shlokas of Bhagavatam. One of them decides that I will insert 3 shlokas in between somewhere. Means he will teach his disciples like that. 18,000 3 shlokas. Or remove 3 shlokas and add 3 shlokas. So 18,000 remains. He will teach his disciples like that. But what will happen? 9 other are teaching in the same way that I taught. Correct? So there will be objection raised. How you are changing this? Correct? And such objections have been raised thousands of times. Raising an objection and having a debate is an everyday thing in Vedic culture. To solve things up, to solve the doubts, they have debates. That is called Vakyartha Sadas. So it was an everyday thing in the Vedic culture up till the time Britishers left India. Up till that time it was an everyday thing. It was nothing new. Any Brahmana can raise an objection that no, what you are saying is wrong. I call you for Vakyartha Sadas and we will discuss, and then there will be a decision. And not only it was an everyday thing, there was a whole complex system laid out for such discussions. And there is whole complex science or shastra for that particular purpose, having such discussions. How to understand logic, how to quantify logic. That okay, his logic and his logic. This particular logic has more points than this particular logic. This type of quantification was there. And that's why this logic wins and not this. That's why the meaning of this particular shloka should be this and not this. Such a culture was there. In such a culture, can you introduce something little new? No. It is well known all over the world that Indian culture, Vedic culture, was very rigid. Rigid means you cannot change even slightly something without getting a reaction. People will start speaking, oh, what you are doing, you are changing this. For instance, Panini Vyakarana is there, the grammar of Panini, Ashtadhyayi. So the sutras are in one sequence. There are around 8,000 sutras or 4,000? 8,000 sutras. There is a particular sequence, and the method of explaining those sutras through vritti or tika or bhashya was in the same sequence you are going to explain. In between, an acharya came and he wrote Siddhanta Kaumudi, Vyakarana Siddhanta Kaumudi, in which he explained the same thing, nothing different, everything as it is. The artha explanation, everything is same, but he changed the sequence of these sutras. He categorized sutras in different compartments and then started explaining them, and that was considered a big deviation, and he was challenged like anything, and many books were written to refute that book, Vyakarana Siddhanta Kaumudi. His purpose was that people are becoming more more foolish or less intelligent, so to make it easy for them to understand, I am doing like this. That was his purpose, but then that was challenged like anything. So even the sequence is changed little, then you are challenged. Then what to speak of adding whole chapters and shlokas and everything? You will certainly be challenged. You will certainly be challenged if such things are happening. And when such challenges come, then that is noted in history. When some big things happen, so it is recorded in history, and you'll be able to see that. And such things have happened. See, Vakyat Sadars, like this, what is that? Parakiya and Swakiya Rasa debate was there. It is recorded in history. And many such debates, whether Shankaracharya had debate with Mandana Mishra, that is recorded in history. Therefore, to say that in Manusmriti and Bhagavatam, all these shlokas, they are just making up and then putting inside, who knows it is from the original Bhagavatam or not. So such types of doubts are being raised even in Vaishnava society now. That who knows that the Bhagavatam which we got from Srila Prabhupada is the one which Vyasadeva wrote. You see? This is coming from this university system. Because we blindly accept what the university scholars say, blindly accept their logic, don't even put a little intelligence, that it is not possible. That's why we see that whenever such doubt is there, then even the acharyas, it is not that there are no different readings. That okay, this acharya has this particular reading, or shloka is maybe a little different, or some one shloka is not there which was there before. So such readings will be there. They are called pathas, and that usually comes up because of the scribes. Because the original grantha is as it is, and the scribes, they Brahma Pramad Vipralipsa Karana Pata. So some word he understood, misunderstood in different way, and he rendered it differently. But that does not hinder the as it is propagation of the scripture, because many people are knowing it through Shruti Parampara. And in many other scriptures, in many other shastras, the same thing is mentioned. So by comparing them, you are able to understand that it means this. This particular verse, actually it should be like this. At the same time, it is not just the words, but the meanings are also there. So by applying the rules of Mimamsa Shastra, even you are able to come up to the proper reading of the words. Okay, it should be like this and not this, because otherwise it will clash with meanings here, here and here. So such a sturdy system of understanding Shastra was in place in the times of Vedic culture, not very much before. And then in the parampara things are coming. So that idea that there are interpolations in Shastra, interpolations or intended interpolations, deliberate interpolations, and means from the times before Mughal or like that. So, and all the acharyas which came, they are befooled. They have accepted those interpolations. This is a wrong idea. That's not possible. Much could be said about it in very technical terms. I have not touched that. But yes, this particular verse has been debated by acharyas, that these 3 chapters, were they there or not there. And reading those debates, as far as I understand, or I tend to accept from the logic which is going on, the more stronger part is that these 3 chapters are a part of Srimad Bhagavatam. They are not deliberately inserted by someone after Vyasadeva. These 3 leelas are there. In other places also these leelas are there in other Puranas. And so here also these leelas are there in Srimad Bhagavatam. And most of the acharyas have accepted these leelas and commented upon them. So we also accept these leelas, and in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, at least the way we have been taught, there is another concept which usually you do not find in any other place. The concept is there in Shastra, that demonstration, Chikirshur Loka Sangraha, that the elevated devotees, the pure devotees, and even Lord himself, when they come to this world, they follow the rules and regulation of Shastra, and their actions are for teaching to people in general. So sometimes their action may not be fitting their original status as pure devotee, but still those actions are meant to teach those who are not pure devotees. This particular concept is there in Shastra. Asthita Janakadayaha, like 3rd chapter. What is that? Karmanaiva hi samsiddhir Asthita Janakadayaha. So such concepts are there everywhere in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, that Yudhishthir Maharaj, Arjuna, such devotees who are Bhishma, Lord Brahma, such elevated people, they act to teach people. There is another such Leela of Lord Brahma mentioned in Bhagavatam, which is also not accepted by, I think, Madhva Sampradaya, that he became attracted to his own daughter, and then he left body and got another body. So when you apply this concept which is there in Shastras, then you are able to understand these leelas, that yes, he is teaching, Lord Brahma is teaching by these leelas, that Lord Krishna's Bhagavan is so great that even people like Lord Brahma can become bewildered. It's right there in the first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, Muhyanti yat surayah, that even the suras become bewildered. So it is there, Muhyanti yat surayah. Now there are many what you can say intimate explanations of these things, that Muhyanti yat surayah. Yashoda Mai was also bewildered by Krishna, and the whole spiritual world is bewildered by Krishna. Whole spiritual world is full of suras, or those who are devotees of the Lord, and suras are also bewildered by Krishna. Muhyanti yat surayah. And asuras are also bewildered by Krishna, and the Sura in the material world, the demigods are also bewildered by Lord Krishna. Everyone is bewildered by Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna is bewildered. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he has a bewildering potency in the form of Mahamaya, in the form of Yogamaya. So everyone is bewildered, including Yogamaya and Mahamaya. Those potencies also, they are bewildered by Krishna. So in that sense, Muhyanti yat suraya, yes. So when someone's bewilderment is shown in connection to Krishna, that Krishna bewildered him, then that is his glory. That is not his vilification. That is not his blasphemy. When it is said that Lord Shiva was bewildered by Mohini, that is Lord Shiva's glory. But if it is said that Lord Shiva was bewildered by some woman of this Martya Loka, of this earth, then that is his blasphemy. So here Lord Brahma was bewildered by Krishna. That is Lord Brahma's glory. Everyone is bewildered by Krishna, even asuras are bewildered by Krishna. But when it happens to asura, we don't say that it is asura's glory. But here Indra was bewildered by Krishna. So that is Indra's glory, that Krishna took trouble to personally bewilder him. Otherwise everyone is bewildered by Krishna's Mahamaya. But Krishna took trouble to personally teach him. Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, personally he taught. And by teaching him a lesson, actually Lord Krishna taught to the whole world the importance of by having his Leela with Indra in the form of Govardhan Leela. He taught to the world that glory of his surrender. He taught to the world glory of his own, of surrender to glory of surrendering to Krishna, and practicality of the Sarvadharman Parityajya verse that he taught. And by bewildering Brahma, Lord Brahma, he taught the futility of one's own endeavor in understanding Krishna. Lord Brahma, who can be more intelligent than Lord Brahma? Who can be more experienced than Lord Brahma? And still Lord Brahma got bewildered when Krishna came like this. So he taught to the world. It's not Lord Brahma was bewildered. Actually he was bewildered. It's a Leela. So he felt like that. It is not that Lord Brahma is thinking that I will teach these people, so I should play like I am getting bewildered, but actually I know. It is not like that. It is under Leela Shakti of the Lord. And So Leela Shakti bewildered Lord Brahma so that this Leela could be performed and people could be taught. That Jnane prayer, in this prayers it comes. That's the main, that's the central bhava of Lord Brahma's this Leela. Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam sthane sthita shruti-gatam tanu vang mano bhiryah prayash ajito api jitaste strilokya. That when one gives up one's own endeavor to understand Krishna through jnana, etc., and becomes humble, namanta eva, and jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam jivanti, sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam jivanti, that he starts living according to your words that have been achieved through your pure devotees. Sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam jivanti. Vartam jivanti means, first of all, living according to those words. Second, making those words your life and soul. That's also jivanti. That means you don't have any other thing to do than that. And third is relishing those words as your life and soul. So jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam. And he remains in his position, sthane sthita, in his varnashram position, whatever is there for the bodily maintenance. Sthane sthita shruti-gatam, but he remains in his position, but he is always hearing. They are shruti-gata. They are always hearing. By body, mind and words. Tanu vang manobhi. They win you. Ajita jitaha. Although Lord is Ajita, but he is won by such a person. So Lord Brahma is saying this prayer, and this is the essence of what the heart of Lord Brahma at that time was. When he realized that, oh, this is really the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I made such a big mistake, such a big offense. When he came with his airplane there, so that's what immediately he realized, and this was his manobhava, his all, that what a nonsense I did. I thought I can understand Krishna by this. So what? So in that bhava, he offered all these prayers. That's why another prayer also comes in these prayers. Another shloka comes that, let others say that I have counted each and every atom of the universe, but I can, as far as I am concerned, I cannot understand you. So like this, so that was his bhava. So he's teaching that. By this Leela, he is teaching that all the devotees who are afflicted by I can understand syndrome, and non-devotees who are afflicted by I can understand syndrome, that no, you can't. Lord's Leelas are not meant for our understanding, for our logic. They are not meant. Lord Krishna's Leelas, which are there, they are not meant for our understanding actually. Whatever little understanding we need, that is given by acharyas, but actually it is depthless. I mean, it is in depth. I mean, what do you say? Bottomless. These Leelas are, you can't hit the bottom of this. It's infinite depth. And so they are not rendered in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam for our understanding. So because the purpose is not to make us understand these Leelas, so how are we going to just understand these Leelas by our own endeavors? The sufficient material will not be there. Bhagavatam is available in more than crore verses in the Swargaloka, and that is also incomplete. So those who have this syndrome, oh, I'm not able to understand this particular shloka, how it is connected with this shloka, and how, if they think that by doing this I will be able to understand Bhagavatam, then forget it. You will not be able to understand Bhagavatam. You may be able to understand some of the grammar behind it or some of the connections of the verses, but not Bhagavatam. So if one has the idea, one has this type of syndrome, then Brahmaji is teaching that. Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva. So modern university scholars and devotees in contact with such scholars have this syndrome. And that's why they start finding faults with Srimad Bhagavatam. For instance, one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who is very senior and who has been instrumental in rendering these purports right now what we are reading, says that I do not know from where all these rituals of Arati etc. entered in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto in Krishna Lila. Because here comes that gopis go and offer Arati to Krishna and all this Indian culture part. So I'm not able to understand when they were inserted inside. You see, from where it is coming? It's coming from modern scholars. So this particular chapter which ends here, the central message for us of this chapter is don't try to do such nonsense. It's Krishna. All these chapters are Krishna himself. Any Arti or Indian culture thing description going on in Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. So by seeing that you may be bewildered, how God can be like this? Okay. So you be bewildered by, but you be informed by Lord Brahma that it is not like this. So in today's verse, Lord Krishna is playing like this. Jahatuhu Brajaye. His times of Lord Krishna and Balram, Kaumar age 1 to 5, passed by performing these kridas in Vrajadham. And if you see these, it's like any simple ordinary boy. If you see Bhagavatam shlokas everywhere, you will see it is simple ordinary Sanskrit text. It can be done like this or this, someone might have inserted. Similarly here, oh, Krishna, maybe is someone playing like Krishna, he is not Krishna. Maybe he cannot be the Supreme Lord. No, he is eating with his left hand and what this. So Brahmaji got bewildered and we get bewildered. Oh, how can these chapters be here? How can these shlokas go? How can this Archana be here? How can Indian culture be here in these pages? No. It's the same effort, same type of wrong effort is there. So now you can say Brahmaji did this effort, so we can also do that, follow the Acharya. But Acharya is teaching not to do that. Acharya is not saying that you do that. Correct? Brahma did this, and then what he teaches in his prayers, he says that I was nonsense, I did that, so I must not do that, please forgive. And then he's saying that you should act like this. Jnane prayasam udapasya namante eva jivanti sanamukharita. So that is what Brahmaji is saying to us, that learn from me that you should not do that. But you are learning from Brahma that he did that, so I should also do that. So that's wrong application. We have to do what acharyas say, not what they do. That's there in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 33rd chapter, 31st verse. Ishwaranam vacha satyam teneva acharitam kvachit tesham yat swavacho yuktam buddhimam stat samacharet. Those who are great people, Ishwaras, like Acharyas, like Brahmaji and Indra. These are all great people. So, Ishwaranam Vachas Satyam, what they say to us, that is to be followed. Satyam means here to be followed. Teneva Acharitam Kvachit. And what they do, out of that, some are followable, not everything. Kvachit. Teneva Acharitam Kvachit. So then what is to be followed from what they do and what is not to be followed, that question may arise. So that answer is given in the next line, that tesham yat swavachaha yuktaha, that of these activities, of his activities, of those activities, the activities which are according to their words or instructions, they are to be followed by intelligent people. Buddhimans tat samachare. Those an intelligent person should himself follow. It's a general normal concept in Vedic culture that you don't do what the great people do, but you do what they say to us to do. So this solves many other problems. If you see, if you read Shastra, there are many such problems. Why Krishna danced with the gopis? We can also dance. No, this is in context of that Rasa Lila. This shloka comes in that context. So yeah, no one in India considered that Krishna danced with gopis, it was immoral, or we can imitate that. Till the time Britishers came, they started presenting it this way, because it was understood. Great people do. Like this women does not get Brahma Gayatri Diksha. So everywhere it was accepted. It was not a means. It was general acceptance all over Vedic culture. From Shastra it is there. No one was feeling that we are left out without having Brahma Gayatri. And these Britishers, they had a plan to kill Indian culture. So in 1880, Britishers gave a project to one of the university scholar who was a Brahmana. He was in university at that time, in British university, that you bring out from Shastras all the statements that can support women's liberation. He writes, the scholar himself writes, this was a project given to me and I said that I cannot bring it out in 6 months, it will take 2 to 3 years. So after 2 to 3 years, he wrote a thesis, small thesis, which was published as a book. I owe that book, Hindu Marriage Law. So that Hindu marriage law was dependent on that book. And then onwards, whatever university scholars come, they are whatever university material, modern university material about women in ancient India is available, is all based on these pramanas or these evidences which he has given from Vedic literature. And that has been refuted by one of the Gujarati university scholar currently. About 50 years back he refuted it. I have that small book in Gujarati. It is worth translating in English and Hindi actually. So so it was not considered wrong at all before. Yeah, what's problem with that? Women do not get Brahma Gayatri. But these scholars, they brought out all these pramanas that see the icons. Icons means the murtis that are available in old temples and very old inscriptions. You see that they have this some thread, or we find in Shastras the description of Gargi, Maitreyi. They chanted the Vedic verses, they got initiation like this Brahma Gayatri, they used to chant Savitri, and so many things they find right in the Shastra, and it's mentioned in the Shastra. And it's not that people previously were not aware of that, that they were kept unaware of that. But they did not get influenced by this. Now these people say that these Brahmanas, they made a ploy. This, what you say this? Which theory you say this? Conspiracy. That no one should read Shastras and only we can read, and then we will suppress the Shudras and women especially. We will suppress. Just put a little intelligence in this. Just think a little bit. Even among very scholarly people, is it possible to agree on everything? No. Especially those who are very intelligent, usually they do not agree with each other and they have fights. And all over India, thousands of Brahmanas together who are not connected by phone had this conspiracy running for many years, hundreds of years. This conspiracy is running, and these all verses about women's liberation are being hidden even from Brahmana woman. So that's not digestible. One person would stand up and say, no, hey, you are doing this to women, but see what is written in Shastra. No, it is not like that. Everyone was knowing these things. The point was that they also knew the culture, that na daiva charitam charet. Na daiva charitam charet. It's right there in Shastra that those things which are done by devas should not be a mark or followable by the Manushyas. There are three categories: Deva, Rishi and Manushya. So we are following the rules for Manushya, which is given in Manu Samhita. Now, some of those rules may not be followed by Devatas or Rishis. So these Maitreyi, Gargi, these are all Rishi Kanyas. And then Savitri is Devata, Devi. So who can say that Savitri, or who can say that Saraswati cannot change Vedic mantras? All Vedic mantras are coming through her mercy. So if Saraswati can chant, then we can chant. No, that's wrong. So this point that Ishwaranam vacha satyam teneva charitam kvachit, this is the point that followed by Ishwaras or great people is not followable by humans, us. But what they say to us, what we should follow, that is followable. So similarly, here Brahmaji is giving this thing that you should not attempt to measure Srimad Bhagavatam, but be humbly hear it from the acharyas, from their commentaries, and accept it. Here we can finish. It's already 10 minutes over time. Of course, topic is very deep and technical. Any questions we can take maybe? Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, so my point here was not exactly about these three chapters, although I made the point. But my point was that when such a doubt came, it was immediately discussed. So it did not go away that all these acharyas are in bewilderment. They did not receive these three chapters from Parampara, while in other Paramparas they are going on. So there was a question and that was discussed. So now then there is discussion through Mimamsa and other Shastras how it is like this. So then to understand that what is the conclusion or what should be the conclusion, then we have to go into depth of that discussion, and maybe that discussion may go on even further. So that is not denied. So it is not denied that someone can insult, but it is, I am denying that it will not be noted that someone insulted and up till now no one knew. That particular thing I am denying. Otherwise some things, prakshepa would be there sometimes somewhere. So that is detected by acharyas. It's not that they are unaware of these prakshepas. Okay, you had this question? Oh, okay. The question was that madhvas also know, and all these things. So why they are saying that these 3 chapters were not there? So to that my answer was this. I think even Pushti Marga Vaishnavas also do not accept these 3 chapters. I have to see that discussion, who do not accept and who accept. I think that's very rarely discussed even among Gaudiyas. Only we or some of us know. We have to still get pramana for that. But that has not been part of much discussion as far as I understand. Of course, see, there are 2 types of discussion. 3 types. One is about what is to be done and what is not to be done. These are based on Kriya Vakyas. Second type of discussion is what happened and what did not happen. And third type of discussion is Tattva. Like what is the situation of Jiva with relationship to the Lord. That is called Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana Tattva. This is third type of matter or subject of discussion. So the question which you asked about Jivas becoming Brahma or not becoming Brahma is a question of Tattva, this Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojan. And those discussions may be very different, may not come to end. Usually if you see, such discussions don't come to end because these are not seen things. Yeah, once Brahmas and now came. So it's like that. It's a tattva matter. Means every jiva becomes Brahma. It's not a matter of that what happened or what not happened. It's not a matter of event that this happened or not, but it is like every jiva first becomes Brahma and then comes. Similarly, jiva was there in the spiritual world or not. These type of discussions are Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana Tattva, and these tattvas, Sambandha Abhidaya, understanding of Sambandha Abhidaya and Prayojana changes with Sampradaya. And often such discussions, many times they do not come to end. Like the Shri Vaishnavas have 2 factions. The central part of the discussion is this Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana part. Abhidaya means how you will achieve this Prapatti or Bhakti Yoga, and Sambandha and Prayojana. So that may not come to end. These are Siddhanta discussions. For that also there are Vakyartha Sadash, Shastrartha. Mainly the Varnashram part, or what should be done and what should not be done. This part is accepted, is almost in all cases, it is concluded that these are the right things and these are the wrong things. They have never been, if there is a contest of what is to be done and what is not to be done, immediately it is solved somehow or other by discussions. But Siddhantic discussions do not come to end much easier. If you see, when Gaudiya Vaishnava says their Siddhanta, but when they established Radha Krishna temples and started worship of Radha Krishna, means a procedure was developed to worship Radha Krishna. Jiva Goswami later gave evidence for that. When that procedure was developed, then immediately there was a case filed in the court, and there had to be a discussion. You cannot deny, and there had to be a conclusion that it is right or wrong, because this is something you are going to do, kriya. So either you do it or you don't do it. So there you have to come to some conclusion. So that was concluded. Swakya Parakya Ras was also concluded. That was a part of Siddhanta. So this in Madhva Sampradaya, there is also an understanding that jivas are of different types, and the asuras never get liberated. And then this Pushti Marg also, they have similar kind of understanding. The soul itself is of different type. So then discussions go on in this field, while Gaudiya have the understanding that the asuras got liberated, and that's the most direct understanding of the shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam as well as Puranas. Aho Bakiyam Stanakala Kutam. So Madhva Sampradaya Acharya explained it in a different way, very roundabout way, but the direct explanation which synchronizes with the bhava which is going on at that time, with the words as well as bhava, is Gaudiya's explanation. That yes, even the asuras like Putana get liberated by touch of Lord Krishna. So like that. You had the question. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.